Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be telling you guys a little bit about my experience with postpartum depression. And I honestly have been wanting to film this for a while now, but I can never put into words or sit there and think like what all I want to say, or even wanting to be vulnerable, tell you guys this. Because honestly it's hard. It's really hard to talk about, and I told myself I wasn't gonna cry during this video. So I'm gonna start with, so when I was pregnant with Monroe, I never had any of these symptoms. I mean, I might have had a little bit of actually depression because of the fact that me and Malcolm were separated at the time. We were together, but he was still in college. So I basically, the first year of her life, I basically raised her by myself while he was finishing with school. And then, sorry, I might say a lot. But I had my family. I lived with my family at the time when I had Monroe. So I had them, their help, their support. But I was still kind of lonely because, we weren't raising our daughter together. This is not what I visioned for what would happen. Like, of course, I wanted to raise my daughter together. He did come home a lot to see her, but of course not as much. Malcolm did play football for Penn State, so he was busy a lot of the time. But depression didn't start hitting me until after I had Zaya. It didn't even hit me immediately after. I'm so sorry. I was hearing noises from my ceiling fan being on, so you might have heard that in the beginning. I'm so sorry if you did. So fast forwarding to when I had Zaya, everything was fine when we first came home. This time around, if you guys are new to my channel, me and Malcolm are still together. We've been together for 8 years. So now we are living in our own home. Monroe is now 6 and Zaya just turned 1. So this was, a year ago. So what had happened was we came home, I started to adjust, and even before I had Zaya, I kind of was like, I guess like psyching myself out, freaking myself out, I really want to say, when it came to, I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to accomplish giving Monroe the attention that she needed, or the attention that she was getting from me, since I was about to have a new baby. And I really put a lot of stress on myself with that, like trying to make sure I treated them equally, spent enough time with both of them equally. Like, I really struggled with that, and I feel like that kind of maybe had made my situation a little bit worse. I'm not really sure, but I know I did that a lot before I had her. And even when we first came home, I kind of was doing that too. It was kind of, I just had a C-section. I came home and I was breastfeeding, but I was struggling with breastfeeding when I came home. She wasn't latching as much, and she wasn't getting the nutrition that she was supposed to be getting. Even when we were in the hospital, they made me give her formula because they said my milk wasn't coming in, so her iron level just kept dropping. So they recommended us give her some formula, which I was like, fed is best. That's what she needs. Let's give her the formula. And then I still continued to keep latching with her and so forth when we came home. But 9 times out of 10, it was mostly me just kept pumping. And I also was putting her on my breast as well, just to circulate everything. I really don't want to go into too much with that, but So I had the stress of that. Pumping is no joke, guys. When you have to exclusively pump, it's literally around the clock, every 2 to 3 hours. So I had that going on as well. Malcolm was going back to work. I literally had no help. Like, it was, Malcolm was going through that. I had no help. And then it also carried on to, I just felt trapped. I felt like with the whole breastfeeding thing, and since I couldn't get her to latch on as well as I wanted her to, she was getting more milk from me actually pumping it and giving it to her. And I was like, as long as I'm giving her this milk and I can provide her with this milk, even if she's not latching on great, let me just give this to her. And so that's what I did. And I should have reached out to a lactation consultant when I came home. I really should have, but I just didn't. I really don't even know. I just didn't. I talked to one when I was in the hospital. She said I was doing everything perfect. It took a while for my milk to come in. Totally understandable. They said her latch was great, everything. And then just when we came home, I just was like, as long as I can pump for her, then that's fine. But actually that kind of like wore me down. Like, I felt like I couldn't leave the house, or if I left, I would have to hurry up and go get what I needed to get and hurry up and come back home. That way my milk was still coming in. I had to put myself on a schedule with the amount of times that I was pumping a day, with getting up all hours throughout the night, with not only having to go downstairs to warm her up a bottle, but also to sit there and pump. So I would be pumping and then also feeding her. Malcolm would be helping me sometimes too, but a lot of the times, he was sleeping because he had to work. Malcolm, if you guys haven't seen any of my previous videos, Malcolm has took the role of working extra hard for our family. We kind of went through some things as well, which also contributed to my depression. We lost 2 family members within a year to the date, actually. During this time, during that time when we first had Zaya, and then oh my gosh, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. And then I also had to make the decision that I wasn't going back to work. And I really, honestly, I didn't want to go back to work at first, because when you have your baby, you just, like, your plans are before you have the baby. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go back to work at this time, at 6 weeks when I'm supposed to, or 8 weeks if you have a C-section, or whenever your doctor releases you. That is your plan when you're pregnant. And then after you have the baby, it's kind of like you're so attached to them, and you're like, I don't want to give my baby to whoever has to watch the baby. In my case, it was my mom. My mom was going to watch the kids for me while I went back to work. And it didn't end up working that way. My mom has health issues herself, and she just realized that it was just going to be a lot on her, taking Monroe to and from school, and then also taking care of a newborn, which was, it's totally understandable. So I really, and me and Malcolm talked about it, we really didn't trust our kids to just go anywhere. So we decided that it would just be best for our family for me to just stay home. And at the time, I was really like, okay, I'm not going to miss out on anything. I'm actually okay with this. I think I'm okay with this. And then the days kept going, and honestly, I just kept getting, I think it was just, I don't know if I was overwhelming myself or overthinking. I honestly don't know what it was, and I honestly don't know how I got myself out of this. But every day I would just think about running away. I would never think about hurting any of my children, but I would deal with the fact of just not wanting to be here anymore, or to just run away from it all and just leave it and just go somewhere. Or I would have thoughts of, what if I just left my baby somewhere and just Like, I could never, never imagine myself doing that to any of my children. And the fact that I would think like that, it literally killed me. And I felt like I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't talk to anybody about this. Like, I just felt like nobody would understand, or they would think that I was crazy. And honestly, I mean, I eventually got to the point to where, you know, I would talk to Malcolm about it, or he would see it. He would ask me if I was okay, or try to talk to me about it. And it was like, it would make me feel okay in the moment. But then after that, like, the whole next day would start, and then it would start all over again. I had no interaction. I started working when I was 12 years old. I was working since I was 12 years old, and I didn't stop working until recently. I mean, when I had Monroe, I had some time off to be with her, but then my mom watched her for me, and then I went right back to work, and I've worked nonstop ever since I was 12. And then I went from being this so independent person and taking care of myself, because I hate asking for help. I hate anybody doing anything for me. I've never been the type of person. I've always been the type of person, if I need something or if I want something, I go get it, and I do it for myself. So it was kind of hard having Malcolm be the only person that's going to take care of my family. And not only my family, but myself. I mean, of course, I would expect him to take care of his children, but I just felt like a burden that he had to take care of me, or that he was the one responsible to take care of all of us. I felt worthless, that I couldn't contribute to anything. And then with the whole adult interaction, I mean, even to this day, I mean, I've gotten myself out of that dark, depressing time in my life. Oh, and also we were going through financial problems as well with us having, you know, the back-to-back deaths in our family, and then, you know, us welcoming a new baby. At the same time, me not going back to work, even though I had planned to go back to work. It all kind of cut and rushed up to us, and we were just in this hole, and it kind of made everything worse for me. I had no adult interaction. I just felt like I was literally by myself all day long. I was in this house by myself, and I felt like I didn't have anybody that could relate to me or that could talk to me. And honestly, the only thing that I felt like got me out of this situation was me talking to God. Right, this video is probably going to be all over the place. I just feel like I just want to share my story with you guys. I mean, depression is hard. It's very hard, especially if you feel like that you're alone, or you're scared, or whatever it may be. Just know that you're not alone, and there's plenty of women out there. I think it's like 1 in every 7 women go through postpartum depression, and it's hard. I know it's hard, and the only thing that I regret from my situation is I wish I would have asked for help. I wish I would have, even if it's gone to the doctor. I should have gone to the doctor, and I should have sought help. I think my depression lasts probably like 6 months, or almost 6 months after I had Zaya. And I mean, we went through times to where I told you guys about our financial situation, us losing family members. My whole breastfeeding was a struggle. Malcolm taking on the role, and now he hasn't been here because he's been taking on this huge role and making sure that we are financially okay. And by him doing that, has spent less time for us to actually be together, for us to actually do things as a couple. I mean, now we're making it work now. We are making sure that we get that time in and that we spend together, whether if it's date nights inside the house or outside of the house. We don't have a lot of babysitters that, you know, to come watch the kids and stuff like that, which is fine. I mean, we make things work. Sometimes Monroe will go over to my mom's house and Zaya will just have to tag along with us to our date nights. Or we take the kids and we just all go out for a family date night, going out to eat, whatever it is. I mean, I just feel like I needed that, not only one-on-one time, I just needed that time to get out of the house. Whatever it may be, just get out of the house and actually spend time with Malcolm by ourselves and also together as a family. I needed that. And now, I mean, I've been doing much better. When it comes to, my depression is gone, but I do have moments to where I do feel lonely, and I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm just not doing anything, or I have nobody to talk to, or whatever it may be. I don't know. And honestly, the only thing I can say is, I mean, me doing these videos, it helps me. It makes me feel like, you know, I have a purpose. I am doing something that I enjoy doing. Me taking the kids out since it's summertime and going places, whether if it's the pool or just going out shopping. Another thing that's helped me was also me focusing on my body, focusing on things that helped me like relieve myself from anything. So in the morning time, I'll grab the kids after they've eaten breakfast and we will go outside and we'll go for a 1 to 2 mile walk, and it helps me. Then I'll come back and Zaya will take a nap, and Monroe will, 9 times out of 10, she'll be with me, and we'll be downstairs and we'll be doing other exercises downstairs. I feel like me focusing on that actually clears my mind, and it helps relieve any kind of stress or tension or anything like that that I was having. I feel like that has really helped me as well. I feel like me just keeping myself motivated and just keep going, I feel like that's helped me too. But I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. I hope you guys did find this video helpful. Just know if you are going through this, please seek help. Please don't try to be like me and try to keep it inside or see if it'll go away. Please don't do that. That is the one thing that I really regret. And I even beat myself up to this day thinking about it. Don't do that. Reach out to somebody, talk to people, or go to the doctor and talk to the doctor. See what the options are. Maybe they can help you. There's always help out there. Please, please don't keep it inside. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow.